Hello, I'm Piers Corbyn from Weather Action, Long Range Weather and Climate Forecasters. And today I'm going to give you a brief report on the developments that have happened this December so far, and then give you a forecast of extreme events happening around the world to the end of December and into the start of January. First of all, for Britain and Ireland and Northern Europe, our forecast specifically for the Britain and Ireland part for December has been going well, even though the colder bit came a little later than we expected. But the general summary was that it would be a wet and windy start, giving way to severe Arctic blasts with heavy snow and blizzards in parts. And that has happened just now, only a bit later than we expected. And then it's going to turn a lot milder again, we said, just around Christmas, before a colder year end. So that is the rest of the forecast for Britain and Ireland. Now, we're very pleased indeed with the deluges of snow which have just happened today, the 18th of December, or rather on the night really of the 17th, in eastern parts of England mainly. This is very important, which is part of the 14th to 17th solar weather impact period, where we specified that there would be, first of all, cold and snowy weather, and the most cold and snowy part of the conference there would be around that time, would result in blizzards, quite likely in Copenhagen and that part of Scandinavia, and there would also be snow in the United Kingdom. And what we've in fact seen is a blast of cold air come from Russia through Copenhagen straight into London and southeast England, which accompanies certain political messages coming from the Russians, which we'll talk about on another film. So we're very pleased indeed with the details of this forecast, and bear in mind we gave out the detail I've just specified about 30 days ahead of time, and it was as accurate as the standard meteorology 1 or 2 days ahead. And when people of course look at our forecast, they have to bear in mind that they're made a long time ahead, and the right thing is to, we're not trying to compete with standard meteorology half a day ahead, because obviously they have the benefit of a lot of things to comment on them, but we give a picture which no one else can give from a long time ahead. So now, what is going to happen for the rest of the month, the 18th onwards, around the world? And we have this month issued this forecast free of charge, but I have to say it is free of charge, but we have to live. So I would urge anyone who wants to give us a Christmas present to buy some forecasts, send a donation, go online, weatheraction.com. And there will be a bit more detail there, in fact, of these forecasts than I'm going to spell out here. So, between the 19th and 31st of December, first of all, talking about the Mediterranean, we're expecting a series of waves of severe, often thundery weather and local floods due to deep, low-pressure systems in the Mediterranean, especially in the western Mediterranean. And the main periods of these activities are going to be the 19th and 20th, the 22nd to 23rd, 25th to 27th, and the 28th to 30th. Now, of all those, the 28th to 30th is going to be the most severe. We're expecting major thunderstorms and deluges with severe gales and floods. Now, these will generally be rain deluges in the Mediterranean, but on the northern parts around in the higher ground there will be snow, so there's likely to be extremely heavy snow in the Alps, for example, and that will result in great danger of avalanches later, if not at the same time. Okay, Now, the same periods approximately for the USA and Canada. We're expecting very major snow and ice events, which will result in major disruption of transport and air traffic. Again, the same periods, 19th to 20th, 22nd, 23rd, 25th to 27th, right over Christmas, and 28th to 30th. And that period, the 28th to the 30th, will be very major cold blasts and snowstorms and extreme activity, even as extreme as the activity which happened around the world between the 17th and 19th of November, which we identified 100 days ahead. Now, the specificity of where in the US of A, we haven't gone into that yet, but we will do because we've been asked. That period I've just mentioned is very important. Lastly, we want to talk about the Indian Ocean and Australia. For the same time periods and relate those SWIPs, again 19th to 20th, 22nd, 23rd, 25th to 27th and 28th to 30th, we've got a number of events likely to happen. First of all, 19th to 20th, the tropical cyclone formations are likely in the Pacific. The 22nd to 23rd also likely in the Pacific, and the 25th to 27th also likely in the Pacific. So there might not be much of note happening on land in Queensland. And again, there's another one, 28th to 30th, be very extreme activity in the Pacific. It's possible some of these will have effect on Queensland, but the main thing of interest actually is largely at sea, which turns up over there as well. Okay, so that is the end of the extreme events forecast for the remainder of December, but we should also add that there's going to be another major solar weather impact period between January the 5th and the 8th, which will be rain deluges, floods or snow in appropriate places, and we will release more forecast information on that shortly. If you want to know more anytime, click on to weatheraction.com. Thank you.